Isn't Jesse Lingard the man of the hour right now? Who thought that the English forward was going to become such a huge success at West Ham United, especially after spending most of his time at Old Trafford watching his team from the stands? Roy Keane believes that Harry Kane fancies a move to Manchester United, especially following Tottenham's mediocre displays this season. Jose Mourinho can be quite a salty individual, but his most recent criticism really takes the cake. A Milan midfielder is getting all sorts of looks from several teams in the Premier League. Is Stefano Pioli going to be successful in holding on to his prized asset? Today, we've got these news stories to discuss, plus a few more things that happened recently. So why don't you sit tight, subscribe to our channel, and get ready for your daily dose of all things football. RB Leipzig set to lose another star? This summer is going to be a crucial one for RB Leipzig. The Germans have done well this season once again, but they need to build on whatever they can achieve by the end of the campaign, and they'd have to do so without the presence of Dayot Upamecano, who's been promised to Bayern Munich. Ibrahima Konate is also getting some greedy glances from Liverpool, among other clubs. And if that's not it, Julian Nagelsmann should be worried about the contract situation of star midfielder Marcel Sabitzer. The Austrian international's contract expires in 2022, and so far there have been no talks regarding an extension. As things stand, Leipzig might be forced to transfer list the player, with Tottenham rumoured to be frontrunners for his signature. Atletico Madrid choking again. Following a 1-1 draw to Real Betis, Atletico Madrid are barely holding on to the top spot in La Liga. It's a far cry from the situation they were in a few months ago when the team was standing tall with a 10-point lead at the league summit. Inconsistency has hit Simeone's men really hard, and now they have both Real Madrid and Barcelona breathing down their necks. With Luis Suarez injured, Atletico Madrid don't have a lot of goal-scoring options. Joao Felix suffered an injury in the draw against Betis, while Kieran Trippier also picked up a back injury. The squad is already without Marcos Llorente, Moussa Dembele and Jeffrey Kondogbia. They simply can't afford any more slip-ups. Atletico face Eibar and Huesca in the next 2 games of the season, and they need to win those games and hope that both Madrid and Barcelona slip up somehow. Cassano not a Conte believer. Former Italy international Antonio Cassano has admitted that he doesn't like the brand of football introduced by Antonio Conte at Inter Milan, stating that he would sack him if it was up to him. Conte's Inter are currently 11 points clear at the top of the Serie A table and have scored 69 goals in 30 games this season. Cassano says that even though Inter are likely to lift the Scudetto this year, the sort of football the team is playing is horrible. He plays a 5-3-2 formation with everyone behind the ball deployed there to defend their goal. He parks the bus and no one gets through. This kind of football gives me the creeps. It's horrible. If I had a coach like this, I'd go to the president and get him to sack him. Dembele contract extension up in the air for now. Ousmane Dembele has sort of become a more consistent performer for Barcelona and has drastically changed his lifestyle. The youngster's good form has played a crucial role in helping Ronald Koeman's side stay in contention for a league triumph, but with little over a year left on his current deal at Camp Nou, there have been no negotiations so far. There are still no talks over a renewal, but I feel good, Dembele told beIN Sports. And with Lionel Messi also nearing free agency, Barcelona can't afford to allow 2 big players leave the club. It is likely that the Catalan giants are going to offer him a contract extension, but there'll still be a few clubs who will want to sign him. Villarreal awaiting United offer. According to AS, Manchester United are yet to show concrete interest in bringing Villarreal defender Pau Torres to Old Trafford. The young Spaniard has a host of suitors across Europe, following some strong showings in the league this season. However, the Yellow Submarine is yet to receive any concrete offer, with the club looking to sell the player for €50 million apart from bonuses. Manchester United are eager for reinforcements this summer, with a new centre-back deemed top of the priority list. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not too satisfied with the current defensive pairing of Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof. And although Eric Bailly is still in the squad, the Ivorian is not getting much of a look in these days. There are talks about a scenario where United might allow Bailly to return to El Madrigal in return for Torres and some cash. That does seem to be a plausible scenario given the fact that the Red Devils won't be given a lot of cash to spend in the transfer market. Bayern Munich preparing for life without Flick. In Germany, rumours are rife that Bayern Munich boss Hansi Flick might be the man to replace Joachim Löw, who will be leaving the national team following the conclusion of this summer's European Championships. Bayern Munich are very much concerned by the situation, and they don't want to be put in a position where they're without a manager should Flick decide to jump ship. According to 90 Minutes, the Bavarian Giants are eyeing Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp as a potential replacement. While the Reds would absolutely loathe the idea, it could be a possibility. Klopp has seen his team's title defence flounder this season, and if the team fails to qualify for Champions League next season, he might consider leaving Anfield. But the question remains, would he go to his former rivals after doing so well for Borussia Dortmund? Jose Mourinho gets saltier by the minute. Now, we all know that Jose Mourinho can be very salty when it comes to jibes. Throughout his illustrious managerial career, the Special One has had issues with managers. He never saw eye to eye with Arsene Wenger and even called him a specialist in failure. During a rather feisty game between Tottenham and Manchester United, Mourinho saw his team lose 3-1 at home despite leading early on. Before that goal, Manchester United had a goal disallowed in controversial circumstances. During the build-up to the goal, Scott McTominay's hand accidentally grazed Heung-min Son's cheek, and after reviewing footage, the referee reversed his decision. It was an astonishing turn of events, with the South Korean lying down on the field writhing in agony as if he'd been sucker punched. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was not very impressed by these antics and went on to claim that if it was his son lying down like this, he wouldn't be getting anything for dinner. Now, what the Norwegian was trying to say was that Son could have shown some sportsmanship rather than making such a huge deal out of a very minor accident that didn't even warrant a free kick in the first place. Mourinho, though, as he always does every time his team loses, successfully managed to evade the tough questions by getting a little bit too personal with his opposite number. Here's Mourinho's statement, which will better explain things. First of all, let me tell you something. I'm very surprised after the comments Ole made, he responded. You don't ask me about it. I spoke to Ole already about this because I met him a few minutes ago. If that's me telling that player A, B or C from another club, it was my son, I wouldn't give him dinner or something like that, what would be the reaction? It's very, very sad, and I think it's really sad that you don't ask me about it. It's really sad that you don't have the moral honesty to treat me the same way you treat others. Sonny is very lucky his father is a better person than Ole. I am a father, and as a father, you have to always feed your kids. It doesn't matter what they do. If you have to steal to feed your kids, you steal. I'm very, very disappointed. With me, like we say in Portugal, bread is bread and cheese is cheese. I told Ole already what I think about this, and I have to tell you I'm very disappointed that in 5, 6, 7 questions you ignore the dimension of that comment. Now, if you look at this statement carefully and without bias, you'll notice that all Mourinho was doing was that he was deflecting attention from the main issue, and just said a bunch of words without actually saying anything. But hey, that's classic Mourinho for you. Kane fancies United. Roy Keane, meanwhile, believes that Harry Kane must be thinking about moving to Old Trafford. A 3-1 defeat all but ends Tottenham's chances of playing in the Champions League next season, and that might fuel the player's desire to move to Manchester United. And Keane believes that Kane might know that he could be the top man at United and would have a better chance of fighting for titles at Old Trafford than he would with Spurs. United do have the financial muscle to make such a move, and if Kane shows concrete interest, Ed Woodward would want to sign the player. Moreover, with Cavani likely to leave, United have no other option but to sign a world-class striker, and if it's not Erling Haaland, then Kane is the best option. Lingard realising true potential? The more you talk about Jesse Lingard's loan spell at West Ham United, the less it makes sense. The 28-year-old arrived at the club in January and has already scored 9 goals in the league. Before the loan spell, he had only 1 Premier League goal to his name since December 2018. He'd only made 3 appearances for Solskjaer's side all season, and the less we talk about his return to the national team, the better. But as things stand, Lingard is on course to fire West Ham into the Champions League. Based on his form, Gareth Southgate might be compelled to use him in the upcoming European Championship. His instant impact is no fluke. The player Lingard has shown himself to be these past few months was always there. He just needed the right environment to thrive. At United, by luck or lack thereof, the playmaker was never given a role where he could thrive. Under David Moyes, he's been given the license to go forward and play in a role that suits his strengths. Manager David Moyes, who Lingard played under at Man United, added, "We've been surprised by Jesse's goals. We've always known he's got the ability to create things, but his goals have given us something else. With a manager who trusts him and playing in a role that suits him, Lingard is showing that he always had the talent to be a success in England. He was just unlucky with his circumstances at Old Trafford." What do you think about Lingard's rise? Do you think that Southgate should use him this summer? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.